Namaskar. It's my privilege to present before you a topic which is very, very close to my heart. Storytelling pedagogy with shared inquiry approach. Now, what is pedagogy? Pedagogy is the way teachers teach. And this word has its origin in Greek word. We have different pedagogical tools like art-integrated pedagogy, storytelling pedagogy, sports-integrated pedagogy, toy pedagogy, so on and so forth. Storytelling is an incredible art of narrating tales and works as an amazing pedagogical tool. The following objectives are fulfilled with this brilliant tool. Grabbing attention. It helps sensitizing the audience towards the characters, which fosters emotional intelligence and values. Ease of sharing heavy data is achieved by this storytelling pedagogy. It also enables good retention. If we are able to get students discuss the story, all the more better, because storytelling is an amazing tool to connect. Oxytocin gets generated, which immediately connects everyone with a storyteller. 5 times more neurons get generated as compared to a normal conversation. The journey of the story enables every individual to remain connected with a character. Age is no bad with the storyteller or the listener. Storytelling is a very good means of communication. Now let us understand how storytelling began. The journey of storytelling. Origin of storytelling goes much beyond what is documented. Dada Dadi ki kahani, Jataka tales, the Panchatantra tales, Vikram Betal tales, Vishnu Puran, Mahabharata, Ramayana have remained our rich legacy. Fairy tales and mythological tales from Rome and Greece have been extremely popular. Stories of valor of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Jhansi ki Rani Lakshmibai, Ahilyabai Holkar has kept us all inspired to contribute to the society. Stories of patriotism and principles of Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Lokmanya Tilak, Swami Vivekanand, Sri Ratan Tata contribute to inspire us even today. In case we wish to write our own stories to make it more relevant to the students, then the following things should be kept in mind. Let us understand the main elements of a good story. It has to have a conflict. It has to have a good beginning and a sound ending. It could have some exaggerated elements in it. Characters should have names. Care should be taken not to offend anyone's sentiments. The moral should not be literally stated. It should be subtle. Language should be simple, but no effort should be made to make it simpler. Story should be narrated and should not be read. Today, apart from the storytelling as a pedagogy, we shall understand how to use the storytelling pedagogy with shared inquiry approach. Now, what is shared inquiry approach? Shared inquiry method or approach is a group process in which participants explore together the meaning of literary work. During shared inquiry discussions, students help each other explore the author's intent or the meaning of a text. What is the objective of this exercise? Get the students together, discuss about the predicament, the problem, issue, or even the conclusion of the selected story. Improve students' vocabulary. Enable divergent thinking, creative thinking, problem-solving ability, etc. Develop empathetic attitude towards the character. Students also learn to appreciate different viewpoints. Today, purely as a sample story, we shall have a case study. Now, there is a twist to this story. There is no end or conclusion to this story, nor have we maintained any moral to this story, because conclusion or moral robs the charm of discussion. So today's story that we have in mind is about a predicament of a student of class 7th, Vedan's predicament. Schools in Maharashtra generally begins the academic year in April, closes for the summer break in May, and again continues the session in June. Summers in Maharashtra generally start in April, and it is very, very hot during these days. This is a story of Vedan, a student of class 7 of a CBSE school. It was the month of April. This year it was extremely hot. Vedan always carried a huge water bottle to school. However, one day, in a hurry, he left behind his water bottle at home. As he boarded the bus, he realized that he had left the water bottle on the dining table. The sun today looked more aggressively hot. Vedan became very uneasy. He looked listless. The very thought of feeling thirsty without a water bottle was enough to make him miserable. Rishabh, who also travelled by the same bus, was Vedan's classmate. But they hardly interacted in the class because our hero Vedan always felt Rishabh little casual towards studies. Rishabh, on observing Vedan, asked, "Buddy, is there any submission that I have missed out? Any project work?" "Then stay cool. Even I am part of it. I haven't got any of those projects or submissions today." Vedan was immediately cheered. He said, "No, I forgot my water bottle." Rishabh immediately cheered him up and said, "It's okay, buddy. I have enough water to sustain for both of us. Chill out. You can have my water bottle." Vedant was so relieved. Next day, Rishabh brought an imported pen and gifted it to Vedant. He said his aunt had come from Amsterdam and had gotten 2 pens, of which one he felt like giving to his closest friend Vedant. Vedant was touched by this rare gesture. The hot April month this year took a heavy toll on Vedant. He fell sick with dehydration and severe headache. The family doctor prescribed medicines and advised a couple of days rest to Vedant. The maths and English submissions were due the next day, and the scores of submission was part of the internals. Vedant was worried. How will he send the projects to school? He did not like to trouble his daddy, who was always so busy with his office. He felt miserable to ask his mother to do that. She was already bogged down with so much work. And his sickness, her work had already increased manifold. How he wished he could go to school and deliver the projects himself. But he felt too weak to even get up from bed. Just then, the bell rang. Mama opened the door to find Rishabh standing. She felt nice to note that Vedant had a visitor. She ushered him into Vedant's room. Vedant was thrilled to see Rishabh. Rishabh narrated every bit of the school events of the day. Rahul's mischiefs, Rutuja's complaints, Abha ma'am's instructions. Vedant felt super happy. He said, Rishabh, I'm so happy you came. I want you to submit my English and maths projects tomorrow. Rishabh said, Buddy, what do you think I came for today? I came to look you up and collect your projects. Abha ma'am has reiterated that she shall not accept late submissions. Your hard work deserves the best scores for certain. Rishabh dutifully submitted the projects the next day and gave Vedan the report of the submission. Vedant felt super happy. A friend indeed is a friend indeed, he felt. He recovered fast and started going to school. The results of internal scores got declared. Vedan, to his utter dismay, got 10 on 20 in both the projects. When he respectfully approached the teachers both, Abha ma'am and Sanskriti ma'am, had to say that 12 students had same projects and they were declared copied version, and so it was decided that only 50% scores would be given to those projects. It did not take time for Vedan to realize that his projects were copied by Rishabh and his friends. He felt miserable about trusting Rishabh with his projects. He wondered, should he confront Rishabh over this issue? He decided against it, but now he thought he'll be a little more cautious, wiser, with his closeness towards Rishabh. While he thought he'll maintain distance, he was constantly caught up with the charming disposition that Rishabh had. Next day, Vedant missed Rishabh in the school bus. He was absent in the school also. The whole day went with Vedant missing Rishabh. The eyes unknowingly kept looking for him, and he wondered if Rishabh was indeed absent. Is Rishabh sick? Do I also need to visit him? I should ask the school attendant for his residential address, he thought. The whole day in the school looked bleak and unexciting. Vedan missed Rishabh. He suddenly realized that despite his efforts, he was unable to forget Rishabh. He thought of visiting Rishabh after going home. He took the address from the bus attendant. He shall have to inform his mother, take her permission, and then visit him, he thought. However, pleasant surprise awaited him at home. Rishabh opened the door himself. The mother explained, Dadima, during her morning walk, had a fall, and it was Rishabh who had helped her and escorted her home. He had also helped the doctor's visit. He was a man who helped during the crisis. His mother was all praise for Rishabh. Dadima also loved Rishabh so much. And it got revealed that Rishabh's grandmother and his Dadima were friends. And Dadima didn't know that Rishabh had shifted to Pune. Dadima called out to mother and said, Rishali, we need to invite Rishabh's family for dinner or lunch one of these days. The next week saw Rishabh's family at his place for dinner. Rishabh's father and Vedan's father had lots and lots of things in common. And so was it true with Vedan's mother and Rishabh's mother. Oh my God, it was a lovely family get-together. Vedant was super happy. His friendship with Rishabh got a special recognition in the family. He was extremely grateful to have a friend like Rishabh. He thought he shall later tell Rishabh how he felt about the projects being copied by so many classmates. The low scores hurt him so much. He strongly believed that such sharing helped bridge the communication gap and strengthen relationship. Days passed. Weeks passed. Vedan spoke of his hurt. But Rishabh just brushed it aside and said, "Cool, buddy. Marks don't matter. It is relationship which matters. Let us chill out at the nearby ice cream parlor." Exchanges of books, notebooks, storybooks happened between the two friends. Rishabh always had a lot of pocket money to spend in the school canteen. He would keep buying things for Vedant. Vedant felt extremely close to Rishabh and started viewing him as his best friend. Time passed quickly. Now it was time for the first periodic assessment in the month of July. Vedant was thrilled to see Rishabh's seat just behind him. The exam started. Rishabh was fidgeting. He didn't know anything. He kept nudging and bullying Vedant to expose his answer script. Vedant was shocked. How can anyone expect that kind of behavior from him? He was shocked that anyone would expect him to share his answer scripts. And then he wondered, was he mistaken in making friendship with Rishabh? Was his mother wrong about Rishabh? Was his grandmother also wrong about Rishabh? Vedan needs our help. Dear teachers, let the students discuss about how they would have behaved had they been in Vedant's place. Expect loyalty to friends overriding integrity. There are totally 4 pillars of the shared inquiry approach. Only those who have read, heard of the selection of the story can take part in this discussion. Participants who have not read the selection cannot support their opinions with evidence from the text, nor can they bring a knowledge of the text to bear on the opinion of others. Number 2, discussion is restricted to the selection that everyone has read. This rule gives everyone an equal chance to contribute because it limits discussion to a selection that all the participants are familiar with and have before them. When the selection is the sole focus of the discussion, everyone can determine whether facts are accurately recalled and opinions adequately supported. Number 3, support for opinions should be found within the selection. Participants may introduce outside opinions only if they can restate the opinions in their own words and support the ideas with evidence from the selection. This rule encourages participants to read carefully and think for themselves. Leaders or teachers may only ask questions. They may not answer them. Teachers head themselves and the participants understand a selection by asking questions that prompt thoughtful inquiry. Dear teachers, your discussions will be richer and more productive if you remember to temper the urge to speak with the discipline to listen. Substitute the impulse to teach with a passion to learn. Hear what is said and listen what is meant. Marry your certainties with others' possibilities. Reserve judgment until you claim understanding. Here are a few examples that you can use as stories as a prelude to the topics that are mentioned in the English Beehive textbook of class 9th and 10th. For class 9, we have a story on click of a tree. We can have a story sensitizing students about what trees mean to us. On the story of If I Were You of class 9th, we can have a story with a similar storyline as a prelude so that children understand the story better. For class 10, Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. You could have Mahatma Gandhi's stories as a prelude to set the context to this particular story. Again, of class 10, The 100 Races. You could have a story of an unassuming person to rise up to fame as a prelude. Dear teachers, while conducting this activity, our role should just be as a facilitator, without passing any judgment on who is right or who is wrong. Encourage every student to speak without making him or her feel pressurized. Let the responses be captured by sequential turns and not by random. Care should be taken not to appreciate or critic any response. If you appreciate any response, a student who has different response may feel intimidated and may shy away from speaking. Please, never ever get judgmental about any child owing to his response. Children change with time as they grow mature. Branding them shall not be fair based on their response. The whole purpose shall be repeated if we start assessing our students based on their initial responses. Elicit maximum responses. You would be surprised how differently, how innovatively children think. Yes, you may really experience a humbling experience. Happy teaching and a great learning. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.